It's talk show night. I'm joined here with Alex, aka Cool Von Rad. Welcome, Savage, by the way. We are going to be talking about all sorts of tidbits of fun gaming news or current events, or just general points of interest. So, by all means, if you guys have questions, comments, concerns, whatever, feel free. Give a shout out, make some noise, whatever. Um, we will try to bring those up or incorporate them into the conversations as much as we can. Some things we can easily, some things not, but you never know. Either way, we're all here to have fun, talk about interesting things as to what all is going on in the gaming universe. Um, so I think we're pretty much good. So I'm going to unmute here. I see Alex is still I think he's just about ready, so let's kind of kick this off, shall we?
All over myself.
Oh my!
Yeah, like it was like 2 seconds in. Like I literally took my second drag and the entire ash just fell off my pants. I was just like, all right, old man Alex just kicking
Ah,
into effect. Like
oh, okay.
moment one.
Because
Classic.
because all I heard was all over myself. I'm just like, oh my.
No, fingertips aren't sticky, so we're all good.
Oh, okay.
Um don't know yet.
uh,
Just trying to find the best deal minimum space. Interesting. Well, if you
hmm.
want some more help, one of my watchers, Kay, is trying to build her own PC. If you would like some suggestions or some help, you know me, just hit me up. Don't have to do it on stream if you don't want to. That's a little weird. Um, so hello, Richard. How are you?
Doing good, and yourself?
Excellent. Thank you for asking.
Good, good.
Had a lovely day yesterday. Got a bunch more shit done for the board game. Just
Cool.
yep,
I
got the
was
promo art working.
I was about to say, how's the board game and stuff going? So you
Really
beat
good.
me to it.
I got a bunch of shit like whatever meetings and crap, but more than that, I got to hire my buddy Herb to work on my promo art for my game,
I've
which
seen
was
I've seen Herb on your art talk show that you
yeah,
do. I'm trying to remember
Thursdays.
what day. Thursdays? Okay, yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah.
Don't know if we're gonna be able to do it this week because he is still out of town doing a freelance art job in
Mhm.
Massachusetts. But yep, he's a fantastic artist, classically trained. Used to be a teacher actually
Ooh.
at Full Sail.
Oh, cool,
Um,
cool.
yeah, so that's great. So I keep trying to like not stress him out about like the deadlines, but at the same time I'm kind of like,
Hey.
so I kind of need that shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's always one of those things. If it's like, not to bug you,
Yeah, yeah.
but
And like I know that people say that you shouldn't work with friends, which I have definitely found can be true, but the
yeah,
exact opposite can also be true.
true.
Um,
Yeah.
I made both my games with all my friends, and we did it for such little money, and we came out of it still happy with working with each other and stuff. So just remember that everyone's works in different ways, people.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And
yeah.
everyone has different viewpoints.
Mm-hmm.
And not necessarily one viewpoint is either right or wrong.
That's right. It's a collaborative effort to make anything artistic, unless it's basically actually no. Even if it is like writing or art, somebody's gonna come in and look at it and still express their opinion. So
Hmm.
just
Yep. Yep. All you can do at that point is just agree that, yes, everybody has different viewpoints.
hmm
Let's
I think
be civil
one
about
of
it.
yes, exactly. One of the best pieces of mentoring advice I'd ever gotten was from a guy named Decaz, and he was like, I had just done my very first presentation to the higher ups at EA. So I was actually like in a boardroom,
Ooh.
like, here's all my stuff, like, and I was getting grilled left and right, and I didn't really have a lot of great answers. And the good thing was it was, still ostensibly practice,
Hmm.
and they were all very nice. But DCAS was like, dude, you want to know the biggest pro tip? And I was like, yes, fuck yes. Are you kidding me? He's like, if you're ever in a meeting and you're running the meeting and somebody brings something up that you don't immediately have an answer to, he's like, always have a water bottle with you. And I was like, okay, that kind of took a left. And he goes, here's why.
And in the meantime, while you're taking that drink, you can kind of think.
Yes.
Yeah.
It gives you a pause time,
Mhm.
even screwing the cap back on. And then he goes, and if you in that time can't bullshit some sort of answer, say, that's a great question. We'll circle back to it. But for right now, let's just continue on and we'll come back to that later.
Yeah.
Whether
Yeah.
you do or not. That was one piece of advice that like always stuck out to me. I was always like, man, that's good. And I
Yeah.
used it several times afterwards.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. That definitely does seem like a very good idea.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anyways, um, start off with news. I forgot to get memes this
Ah,
week, which is
no
kind of
worries.
unbelievable. But I was working kind of up until now,
Yeah, yeah,
so um,
understandable.
sorry about that.
Eh,
Next week for sure.
okay, no problem. No worries. No worries.
Uh, so news.
News is good. Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go
Sure.
first?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
There's nothing. This week was kind of a little dry, so
It kind of was. There were a
Mhm.
couple of big things that I picked out. Well, maybe not big, but definitely interesting things. For starters, everyone knows battle royale games, or at least the big ones: Fortnite, PUBG,
PUBG.
um, PUBG Mobile. They had a interesting week, if you can call it that. They apparently decided to ban 4 million PUBG Mobile players
I did see that.
in 1 week,
Um,
which is more than they've banned in the entire lifetime of PUBG. Totally.
yeah. I saw that a big percentage of that was in China.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Um, you want to know the real like insane kicker on this? The biggest percentage of why they were banned: modification of character model at 76%.
that's crazy.
Speed
So it's not
hacks,
even
yeah,
counting.
yeah. Speed hacks, 5%. Modification of area damage, 4%. Other, 8%. Auto aim hacks, 2%. X ray vision, 5%. They care more about how your character looks, and we program them to look.
Do you know why that is?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess having to deal with hitboxes.
I doubt that. If I was to venture a guess, that's where they get their money. That's where
That's another big
crates you
area there
open,
too. Yeah.
are mostly cosmetics. So
Yep.
if you are able to freely modify that system, you're fucking with the money stream, baby.
That is
Fuck
true.
you, pay me. Like
That is very true.
um,
Yeah.
that would probably be my guess. And that is such a huge percentage difference. Like 76%. Damn. Um, yeah, that's pretty crazy actually. I didn't realize that was it. I'm kind of glad that you read that part because I didn't read
Yeah.
that part.
Yeah.
Uh,
I just find it a little funny that again, at quick glance, it's like, okay, they care more about how you look than the actual gameplay. But yeah, when you bring up the fact of it's dealing with their money stream, it's like, yeah, that
yeah.
very much makes sense.
Yep. And I know that in China that game is fucking huge, like
Okay,
for mobile.
okay,
Like huge, huge, huge. So I'm not surprised by that, but I am surprised that like so many people are just like, no, I just want to look cooler, you know.
yeah,
But to be fair, I'll tell you this: I played PUBG for I don't know, like a month, maybe two when it first came out,
hmm
and you know what I got out of the first three crates that I got? Tan pants, then gray pants, and then black pants. Those were the first three things.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was happy with the black pants because I was like, well, I mean, I only do wear black, so you know, nice, I guess. But that was a lot of grinding for just three pairs of pants in different shades.
Yeah. 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 It's definitely one of those things of it's like, okay, this is super exciting.
And very apparently profitable to them. And
Yeah.
so fuck you, 76% of those like 4 million people.
Yeah.
Which by the way, just out of some quick calculations, wouldn't that mean 75,000 times 4? That is like like just do the math there. That's a crazy amount of people in that, right? Because every one, if it was 75,000, that
Look
means
at it this way: there were 4 million people banned.
right.
75% of that, 3 million people, were because of they modified their character. Not because of like cheating or auto aim or anything like that. 3 million people wanted a different color shirt and hacked it
Yep.
for themselves.
Look at these trousers, aren't they super nice? They're pink.
Exactly. It's like,
Hey man, I get it. I'm a skin whore. I get it. Like
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a total skin whore, so like I get it. All right, you got anything else for that one?
No, that was basically it for that one. But I mean, it's just kind of like, okay, 4 million people, and 3 million of them were for customizing their
Cosmetics.
character.
Yeah. I wonder, you know what, to be fair too, it looks like, so again, if you were not listening to the Smarter Than AI podcast because you're a heathen and you want to like, you know, just look at the words, that does make for a good headline though.
Yes, it's very true.
Like, and 4 million, you if you were a PUBG mobile player, you'd be like, oh,
Oh,
fuck yeah,
damn,
they're
yeah.
like, they're killing it, nice. And then you just scroll past because you didn't click into the article. But
Mhm.
then we went in and we went, yeah, dude, no, they're really not
Mhm.
helping you.
No.
It was kind of funny.
Yep.
My first one is near and dear to my heart, and kind of bums me out.
Mm.
So I don't know. I know you don't play fighting games that much, and I know you don't play the Switch because you don't have one yet.
Soon.
They soon. They announced the most
Mm-hmm.
recent character coming out tomorrow is Kazuyu of Tekken fame, which is great. I love that idea. But then today they Sakurai also announced that the next character, which is the last character in the season 2 DLC battle passes, is going to be the last character they're making for the game.
Yep. I heard that.
I'm kind of surprised. Like, that game prints money for them. But here's my own counterpoint to my own dumb face. Sakurai has been fucking killing himself for that game since 2017 when it launched. Like, at what point is
Mhm.
a game done nowadays? You know?
Yeah, exactly. The other thing is you kind of have to read between the lines on that too. They're effectively with the next character saying, boom, we just stuck the fork in it. It's
Yeah.
done. What's going on in the background as far as development?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they would not stick the fork in something and say, we're done with this unless they already had something in the works.
Yeah.
At the very least, drawing board kind of level.
Sure. Like pre-pro.
Yeah.
My question is, was it smart to announce your second to last character that Smash fans haven't really been requesting that much? Obviously, most like when Terry Bogard got announced, there was so many people on the boards and shit who were like, who is this person? And I'm like,
isn't he a king of
from King of
fighters?
Fighters?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's kind of
so, like,
surprising I know that.
that was very good, actually. I'm actually impressed. So my question then is, did by announcing this one character ahead of time, did they kind of like paint themselves into a corner here? Because it's like, holy shit, that last character better be a fucking mic drop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, yeah.
like we have God himself coming to fucking Ultimate, bam, like,
Yep.
because you kind of got to do that now. Now people are
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
expect the, you know, we've been playing this game for Think Creep. I think that's true. Why throw out a cash cow when there's nothing to follow? I could see a big announcement of some sort soon. I mean, I could see that too. Not sure how soon we mean is soon, you know? Sometimes as gamers we tend to think in like basically a year cycle.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect to hear anything for 2 maybe. Shit, Sakurai was trying to get out of making this game, and
Oh, really?
oh yeah, Nintendo
Mm.
announced it at E3 2015 without his knowledge. And he was in the crowd and was like, "What? We're making another Smash Brothers?" He had already told Nintendo higher ups that he wanted out, and they were like, "Nope,
Mm.
push it through." I don't know.
Ouch. Yeah.
Yeah, like, so I don't know. Super crazy. We'll see what happens, but that is kind of crazy at the end of the day, because like, man, I just like, I get it. Maybe Sakurai wants a break. Maybe the whole fucking team wants a break, because seriously, it really,
Yeah.
that game's been out for 4 years now.
Yeah.
Um, but it, how much in office time do you do for just making a new DLC character?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like how much QA work does that take? Can he fight against every other character? Can he fight on every stage? Now, granted, in that game, both those questions are kind of much bigger than they are normally, but
Yeah. Especially considering you have to not only look at it from the standpoint of can they fight against all the other characters, but is there anything that is ungodly overpowered or broken?
right.
Um and not just in the fact of, oh, this is superly overpowered, but broken in the sense of I do this combination when, say, Fox shoots me with his pistol, and all of a sudden the game just locks completely.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's, and coming from both of us who worked in QA,
Yeah.
that permutation gets out of control quick
Oh
when you
god,
start
yeah.
thinking about every single interaction,
Hmm.
especially in a wonky ass game like fucking Smash Bros.
Which is
Uh,
kind of how once we start like getting into, okay, you have this person doing this move versus this person, and you then like look at the tree and see how far out those branches wind up going, and then it's like, okay, now I can see why there are sometimes issues that slip out to production.
right.
And
It, it,
the
and
average person doesn't typically realize how big testing is and how
yeah,
much is done behind the scenes.
and how little those motherfuckers get paid to do that shit, FYI, because we
Yeah.
both did it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
and like, it's like when people fucking bitch about Bethesda games being broken, it's like, dude, you made an entirely like Western developed RPG where you can go anywhere and do anything. Now, yes,
mhm.
some of the big ones I do understand, but the fact of the matter is, there is only so much you can do with a test crew of even, let's call it 100. That's a pretty huge
Oh
testing
yeah.
crew.
Oh god, yeah.
Um, but then it goes live, and then it's in 5 million people's hands.
Mhm.
They're clearly going to find shit that you just physically could not find.
Yep.
Um, that was literally Alex talking from literally 10 years ago at this point. The guy
Oh
still
god, yeah.
lives inside me. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
he still rallies for the QA.
I mean, hell, there were times when I remember working at Funcom for um, beta access of Age of Conan,
Mhm.
where those that had beta access to the game could get in and play and do player submitted bugs. I remember one day we went in and we were told clear the player beta queue of bugs, and it was over 10,000.
Holy fucking shit.
Yeah, but when it's like that large, it was then just like, okay, search for like this quest, 150 pop up.
Oh my god.
It's already reported, delete all. Search for this. It's an actual bug that we haven't found yet. There's 260 of them. Okay, write up an actual
Write a
bug,
report. Yep.
link all those, like en masse, link those to that major bug. And then it's like,
Yeah.
okay. And some of them were like, yes, this is a bug. No, this is not a bug. And we were just closing them en masse. I think there was one bug that someone or one topic someone actually wound up getting, and it was like 1,500 player submitted ones, and it's just like, No, this is not a bug, you jackasses. Delete
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. As designed. AD moving on.
Speaking of fighting games, loved when they added Ninja Turtles to Injustice. I wish they would add more to with the Ninja Turtles. And them in their Power Ranger forms. Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, that would definitely be
cool.
interesting.
Was that
Yeah.
Savage?
Yeah, that was Savage.
That was?
That was Savage. Yeah.
What's going on, Savage? All right, so you can go next.
Alrighty, give me 1 second here. I'm going to turn the volume on you up a touch.
Sure. I am talking right now so that you can verify that I am turned up a smidge. All right.
You're good.
That's a fun little song I like to do.
No
And
problem.
the little dance that came with it. You're welcome.
Extra bonus content. Free of
Yep, that's
charge.
right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Magic the Gathering. I'm gonna say it's gonna be really hard pressed for someone to not know Magic the Gathering at this point.
Yeah.
Diablo. Again, it's gonna be really hard pressed to find someone that doesn't know what Diablo is.
Isometric RPG.
Hack and slash looter. Yeah.
Yep.
Basically, Magic the Gathering came out or was going to come out with a Diablo style game.
They did.
Technically, yes, they did. It's in beta. They are sticking a fork in it already. October 31st is when they are shutting down the beta. It is not what they originally what is Magic the Gathering? Oh, shut up, Savage. You know what Magic the Gathering is. I know you know what it is.
What's Diablo? What's an RPG? All right.
What's a video game?
All right,
y'all suck. But no, unfortunately, they have come out and said. Actually, I think they came out today and said that as of October 31st, they are shutting down the servers for the beta, and any in-game items, whatever that was purchased with money, they are refunding the money to the people, which is good. It's nice. It's good that they're doing that. Nice.
Like Wizards of the Coast doesn't have that money too.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You guys legitimately print money.
Mm-hmm. I kind of feel because it was in beta, they shouldn't have been having like microtransactions open already, but or whatever these in-game purchases were. But at the same point in time, I kind of understand because they got to get the funding from somewhere.
Sure.
So, it is a little sad though that they are not going to be making it, unfortunately. But
so for me and mine's right, like first of all, the name of the game was Magic Legends:
Legends.
The concept was actually really interesting though. So as opposed to a rogue or a wizard or whatever, considering I mean that's just like everybody is a wizard in Magic.
Pretty much,
was basically the deck color that is what you chose is what dictated what class you were. And you actually had to use cards, and that's how you set up yourself to attack on enemies and stuff, mobs. The other thing that's kind of interesting about it, that like when I read this, I was like, damn, that actually kind of sounded cool to me. Like they had alts and shit, kind of think Overwatch kind of a thing.
Yep.
I feel like they maybe shouldn't have given up. Like, you know, maybe the player count was so abysmal that like they're, you know, like less than, let's call it 30 active concurrent players. That maybe that's why they're doing it.
That are just mechanically broken.
Yeah, probably not as much that. I'm thinking probably that like it was just
player base.
But, yeah, but how many other games have pulled it around? You know, after starting off with some like I always think of. Do you ever play that Witcher card game Gwent?
In game, like in the actual Witcher game, yeah.
Mhm.
Outside of it, no.
Okay. So I did play it actually ever since the alpha.
Hmm.
I really like Gwent.
Yeah,
I like card games.
yeah.
Um, so the interesting thing was the game came out and people were like, dude, this is nothing ostensibly. Well, it was, but it wasn't. It didn't feel the same as the one that was in the original Witcher.
Hmm.
So they went through a really bad like 6 month like of everyone kind of being like, fuck this game. But they had this huge content update like 6 months, 7 months later. And they really just hard turned on the design of the game.
Hmm.
And they
Okay.
tried to refocus on what the audience was asking for. And it turns out it really worked out well. It's still going on now. It's pretty fun. I haven't played in like a year, but the last time I picked it up, it was really fun. Felt great. Um, so I don't know, like it feels a little crazy to waste so many resources to make a game, a Diablo clone, I guess we could call it.
Yeah.
Um, and just throw away all that work. Like that's so much money that you just threw into the fucking gutter.
Well,
Like,
okay. Look at it this way: as far as companies that have gone as far as making a beta and then scrapping it, look at Blizzard. They've had like, I want to say 4, 5, 6 games where they've been like, "Hey, we're announcing this at like an E3, and here's beta footage," and then like 3 months later, nope, we're scrapping it,
yeah.
and it's like,
I mean,
huh?
the most notorious of those being StarCraft Ghosts,
Yep,
right? I mean,
StarCraft Ghost.
it had a featured article in EGM.
Hmm.
Not to date myself, but
I
but I
remember that.
totally had that.
I
Yeah, and
remember
I
that.
read it,
Yeah,
and it looked cool, man. I
yeah.
was like, hell
Oh
yeah.
hell yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of crazy to me though. Like, in this day and age, I
Yeah.
guess I should say that it's crazy because you know we never saw gameplay
Hmm.
from let's call it Ghosts, but this has been live for 6 months, like that people
Yeah.
could play.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know, it feels like throwing out the baby with the bathwater to me. I
Yeah.
guess
Yeah.
is what I would say about it.
Yeah. And as far as kind of deck-based Diablo clones, the only other one that I can think of that's kind of close to it is Book of Demons. It's
I don't
a
think I've heard that.
it's a cutesy cardboard art style um Diablo, but you're on rails kind of a thing. Like you can literally move one path, or wherever the path takes you, you can only move on that path. Um, so if like the path takes you down this long corridor of rooms, then that's all you can do. You can't like hug a wall or anything like that. Um, there were archetypes as far as like warrior, archer, sorcerer, but within there were also your abilities or cards that would cost various amounts of mana, and you would regain mana over time, various defenses, things like that. So it's kind of like, okay, this is interesting. I can kind of see, thinking of that, what Magic Legends was kind of supposed to
Fine,
be,
sure.
but yeah.
It, for me, I think of Phantom Dust.
Oh god.
A
Yeah.
literal you and I and Brian Roy are like the only three people I know who even fucking know what that game is, and
Yeah.
it is unbelievably incredible. But it married third person action, spell fighting, kind of like almost everyone was like Jedi or like I don't know neo punk mages. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you did make your deck of the cards that were available. You had to run around a 3D environment and then utilize those spells and then go to kind of like a place like if you're talking about a first person shooter like old school, you know, like there'd be like the golden gun was here in this location and then
Mhm.
you know, but that's how you picked up your cards and stuff. And I loved that game. I thought that game, so did you.
Oh
So
god, yeah.
did Brian.
Hell, I
So
remember
did
coming
you.
over to your apartment sometimes, just bringing my Xbox over and be like, I still remember day one. We both picked it up, and went over to your apartment, and it was just like, hey, I just got this one, and you're like, oh man, I just got this one, what's that one do? And like we were talking
Right.
about it, and it's like, damn, that's cool, I wish
Right.
I could use that.
And like honestly, it kind of felt like magic, right? Like
Yeah.
you buy a pack of cards and you open them, you're gonna get something different than what I got.
Hmm.
And now we both can like, make our decks kind of have wildly varying different things. Yeah,
Yep.
super cool.
Yeah.
But whatever. Old man reminisce about games that you guys don't remember.
Or haven't even heard of.
Yeah, exactly. Is this how people get famous on the internet?
Who knows? Maybe. No, the famous one is
Um,
Fortnite story mode. Yeah, yeah. That they started and then we're like, yep, plug, pull.
hard pass.
Yeah.
I'm a little annoyed that you pulled the magic one just because I have so much closer of a magic heart than you do anymore.
Sorry.
I was literally that's okay. That's okay. Um, oh my god. So this one's just fucking. This is gonna come off with a bit of poison. They announced this next month's July's Games with Gold. Um,
Okay.
dude, I am so sick and fucking tired of now. Granted, I have definitely shifted. I'm definitely way more of a PC guy than I used to be. I
Yeah.
barely even my Xbox is basically like a thing that plays Netflix and whatever streaming shit. But I'm so sick and tired of seeing the community go, what the fuck? Like Game Pass is so good and you understand so much stuff, Microsoft, but your games with gold is garbage comparatively to PlayStation Plus free giveaways.
Mhm.
PlayStation Plus, the games that they give away are always there's always at least one that I'm like, damn, that's a pretty big payoff. You must have paid out the ass to give that away for free. Good stuff, PlayStation.
Mhm.
And this month, I'm gonna grab my notes because I'm an old man. I need to read this a little bit closer to my face. So this July, Planet Alpha, a game I literally had to Google search, which is a puzzle game. I mean, thanks for the variety. I guess I appreciate that. But I
Mhm.
had to Google you. Not the best. Rock of Ages 3. The one where you're the big rock and you just roll down the hill and you just, it's kind of like Marble Madness if the camera was like behind you. Which is kind of interesting and kind of fun. I like that series. It's okay, but I'm a weirdo who most people do not agree with my opinions, so that probably ain't doing much for many people.
Yeah.
Um, Midway Arcade Collection, cool. And Conker's Bad Fur Day, the version that literally was the remake on the original Xbox. Like, oh my god, were you guys expecting like a fucking parade for that? That's dog shit. And this has been going on, I will say, nigh unto a year, where people every month, Microsoft's like, we got it this time. And then it's just this, basically. And everyone goes, like, where is the disconnect here? I'm assuming that some of it has to be because of the Game Pass thing, that they're not
Yeah.
willing to fork over more money. But like, what the fuck with these titles for a year? I can't even defend this shit anymore. Now I just look at it and I go, and then I just ignore it. I can't even remember the last one that I personally downloaded for free, like because that's the quality of these fucking titles.
Yeah. And like Savage said, I think they're scraping the bottom of the barrel. Uh, they've dug a hole through the bottom of the barrel at this point, I think.
It's like the top of the lid. It's
Yeah.
like the shit that like would like congeal after something has gone into vapor and then just congeals on the top.
Mm,
Nobody wants that.
yeah.
Like, ugh.
Ay, ay, ay.
I just had to bring that up out of like personal annoyance. That
Yeah.
this is like the one where like it really feels like it's just falling on deaf ears with them.
Oh, God, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but
Yes,
whatever.
especially considering how, like, one of those games you had to Google just to find out what the hell it is.
Dude,
It's like, that's not a good start right then and there. Because
that was the July 1st one too.
oh,
The one that
God.
they were most proud of.
Ay, ay, ay. For people who played Marble Madness and actually liked it and got into it, the Rock of Ages one, maybe, but I mean, oh God, I would say that's a very small percentage of gamers out there.
Yeah.
So
And I love Conquer. I
Yeah.
genuinely still love that game. I think it's completely not great and probably wouldn't be made today.
It's
Ooh, a
great.
Matrix reference? Like,
Yeah. I mean, it's great for the reasons that are very not PC.
right. And like, singing duties is funny, don't get me wrong. Like
Yeah.
singing poop, come on, always funny with a classical opera singer. That's actually pretty funny and clever. But the rest of that game, come on, man. Like, eh, I don't know.
Yeah.
That just sucks. Like, anyways.
Yep.
Well, please, after you.
Alrighty. Hopefully this one is not a take your bit of news. Pokemon. They're coming out with a MOBA, believe it or not.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
What was the name of it again?
I don't. Pokemon Unite.
Unite. That's what it was.
Yeah. It's a kind of a simplistic MOBA, to be honest. Like, I people who play Pokemon are gonna like slaughter me for what I'm about to say, but the like classifications or elements of your Pokemon do not matter. It's just your character. So it's like, don't know how well that's gonna turn out, because I mean everyone's gonna be expecting, oh hey, they're playing like Pikachu, okay, well I'll counter with whatever Pikachu's weak against. And it's like, okay, well that's not gonna happen, because well, all that doesn't matter.
I think the thing for me is it's not going to matter, right? It'll still do probably fine because
Yeah.
it's Pokemon.
Yeah.
But like, who are they trying to please with this game? Not the MOBA kids,
Yeah, because
because
it's
like
not
a
hardcore.
dumb, right? It's not it's dumbed down MOBA, and not Pokemon fans because they're not incorporating literally. If you were to talk about Pokemon, the core mechanic is the types and how
Yep.
they react to one another. So who are we doing this for? You know?
That's a good question. And I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, I will say this. It does look cute. And I'm not sure. I might think I might have made this up with my brain. But I thought I had read that it was going to be free to play. I don't know if that's actually the case or not. If it was free to play, I might check it out. Like I like MOBAs. I play Smite,
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like it just feels like you're missing completely everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I don't recall if it was free to play. I'm kind of skimming through the article right now, seeing if any of that jumps out. But yeah, it's well, I've got here. Let me just drop it in your chat. There.
Thank you. Goddamn stupid Steam Labs being all salty.
Yep. But I mean, it's definitely interesting how the like you said, who's the target audience here?
Right.
It's
what's the pillar?
Yeah. Because I mean, I really don't see who it would be. It's not complex enough for MOBA people, and they, from what they've said, it strips out all the Pokemon types. So it's like, okay.
So I was right. It is free.
Okay.
It is free to play.
Okay.
Which is good. Smite's free to play.
Yeah.
League of Legends is free to play.
Free to play. Dota 2 is free to play.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
so at least they're falling in line there.
Yeah.
But they're doing it mobile. That's another reason why it's probably so simple too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I didn't even think about that. And they are doing cross-platform, which is cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Specifically
considering how Pokemon is absolutely huge in Japan, and in Japan they have the infrastructure to basically be, hey, you're playing it, okay, go anywhere in the country and you won't lose Wi-Fi at the very least, kind of a thing. So, I mean, foreseeably, it could do good. It really depends on the region.
And it depends on what their business model is with free to play too, right?
True.
Because you can't be, if you're predatory, nowadays people will just pick up on that and be
Yeah.
like, fuck this.
Yep.
Like, you might still get the kiddie market who's got their, mom or dad's credit card.
But I
But
mean, even then, like a lot of Apple, Android, those mobile makers are like, yeah, that's kind of predatory. We're gonna just shut that down, considering you're aiming at kids at that point.
or they're gonna be like, yeah, that is kind of predatory. Now, if you just give me my cut, we'll be leaving. Thank you.
That is true
Apple
too.
off.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a weird. Did you even see? So typically, I know you don't play MOBAs. Typically, the way it works is there's 2 points and then there's
Yeah.
3 roads.
This is too.
And then right, but here's the distinction. The distinction is at the ends of those roads, there's basically towers on both sides that you have to
Yeah.
beat down through so much. Okay, then there's like the big guardian boss or whatever it
Yeah.
might be, and and it can attack back, and you have
Mhm.
to attack it to the point. Yeah, so that's not the way it works in Pokemon. Did you look it up? I did.
It's
You basically
like
score a basket.
baskets. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like basketball. What the fuck? Like, what is going on? Like, I don't know. Like a whole bunch of it. I was just like, I have so many more questions than like I started
Well,
off with.
okay. How about this then? When it does get full release, we play it.
Oh, dude, I'd play it. I'd play it. Sure.
We
Well,
we add it to our list of like video game book club kind of thing.
sure.
Because I
Like,
mean, especially with it being free to play, it's like, okay, let's at least give it a shot, see how it plays, things like
sure.
that. I mean, honestly, I will say this: with the towers being baskets,
hmm
they're definitely putting forth an effort to do something new and different.
Sure.
Whether it's a hit or a miss, that has yet to be determined.
Yeah.
But it's definitely interesting to always see game developers come forward with a new idea or concept on
For
the
sure.
traditional.
Yeah. And what I was wondering, because what it looked like in the video that I saw, it looked like I want to say it was a Squirtle went down, and it looked like he dropped the ball, so it looked kind of like that team had to either go and retrieve it, or the other team could, and then they could start on an offense thing, which I don't think
Hmm.
is a good idea. If that was correct, I don't know if that's what I saw.
Yeah.
Um, but I did watch the entire video, and that's what it looked like, and I was like, oh god, then this is just Pokemon basketball ostensibly.
Yeah.
Um,
And considering how effectively it would start with the goals being closest and then going further and further.
well, there's only one goal, and they're at the furthest distances.
Oh,
And the
okay.
rest of it is literally just a big ass. This is the other thing. Like again, for me, the MOBA player, um, I was like, there's no jungle, there's no because like traditionally there's shit to do in the middle
In
of the
between
map.
the roads, yeah.
Right. So like, people fight on all these lanes, and then there's another guy called the jungler who
Jungler.
moves
Yep.
in between the lanes to like, help out his team or fuck people up like on a gank. This just looked like I don't really even understand why you would even stay in a single lane.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we'll wait until that gets closer. But you're right. I will check that out with you if you want. Just to at the very least like report out and be like, this is fun. Especially from my perspective, coming as a guy who does play MOBAs, like I will probably more than likely poop on that game,
Yeah.
but that's okay too.
Yeah. I mean, that's perfectly fine. I mean, I've played them. I haven't gone as hardcore into them as you have, I bet. But I mean, I've played Dota 2. I've played League of Legends, Smite. Um, I forget if there's any other big name ones out there at the moment. But yeah, I mean, I've played at least those big three.
Mhm.
So
I like, and you know what? Here at the end of the day, I guess I guess we could take this attitude. Here's what we could do. Even if it's not for us, this could potentially draw in a younger crowd, obviously, because of the source material,
yeah,
and then get them interested in a genre that they may not have been interested in prior. So maybe that'll make some, kids who are 11, 12 years old find League of Legends or Smite, play Smite. Not like I'm trying to hype up my own game, but play Smite, it's so fucking good. Um, or Dota, being the most, extreme of those. So like there is that aspect, like that literally, like, when my nephews were growing up, they weren't really into RPGs, but then we started playing some classic Final Fantasy games together,
Hmm.
and they still to this day love that franchise. So that's cool, like, right?
Yeah,
Like sometimes as people without kids, we have to remember that, like, they're going to be people too, and we should try to make them as cool as possible, like
yeah,
as early as possible.
yeah.
So yeah. Do I have time to take a quick slash?
I don't see why not.
Excellent. Thank you. Appreciate you. I kind of slugged down my last beer when I got done with work, and it is running through.
Ah, okay.
I'll be right back.
No problem.
Entertain the crowd. Be fun.
Yeah, of course. Why not? In Godzilla Fighters, they have a mini game of the monster playing basketball. Oh God, that's interesting. Look at this if you want. After stream, sure. But yeah, I mean, as far as the Smarter Than AI podcast guys or streamcast, whatever you want to call this is what we do. We talk about video games. We talk about the news of current events in the video game world. So there's all sorts of things going on. Sometimes Alex picks up on things that I miss. Sometimes I pick up things he misses. Either way, we do try talking about them and have a lot of fun. Sometimes we also get into different views on these games as well, which is always great because no group of people is going to agree on all the games all the time and have the exact same views. So having different views on on the same games is great. And the really nice thing is we can do this because, well, hell, we've known each other since like second grade, literally, which at this point in time I think turns into being about 36 years or so, 37 years. And we can have different views and still get along just fine. It's a wonderful thing. That's the basketball game clip. Okay, cool. Welcome back.
Hello. I don't know why I always do that so seductively. Hello.
Mm.
It's my soft. Shh. Don't tell anyone I'm touching. Why do I always do that?
Was it
relax?
What was this? Smarter Than AI ASRM now?
Yeah.
That would just be a weird trip of a stream.
Speaking of, did you see that Twitch has got a new ban happy ear licking ESMR or ASMR? So basically, it's from what I've seen, women who are doing the ASMR thing, basically licking the microphone. Hey man, everybody gets their own kink, nobody can no judge your kink.
No, I'm not judging their ban. I'm not judging their kink. I'm judging Twitch.
Yeah,
Twitch, you. Yes, yeah,
you live Twitch. It seems really weird. Like
all of a sudden our stream's shut down.
Yeah, seriously.
It's like, okay.
Jackbooted thugs show up at my house, beat the ever living shit out of me. All, of course, branded merchandise.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's such an arbitrary, weird line to draw in the sand, because I know that, like, obviously before this, the most recent other big controversy was hot tub streaming.
Which actually goes into a point that I have later on, but if we want to talk about it now, we can.
I mean, we might as well.
Yeah, okay.
Were you going to start your own hot tub streaming?
Oh yes, you know it. Who wants to see this luscious beard?
I'm sure there's somebody, bro.
There probably are.
I know there is. You married one of them. What are you talking about?
As Savage sits there and says, "Me."
Yeah, see?
But no, the one thing I find a little weird with hot tub streaming, in the Twitch terms of service, Guys cannot show nipples.
Yeah.
What do they do?
Well, what you do is you either wear a t-shirt or you wear a bathing suit, because what the stipulation I think said was that if you are in a bathing suit for men,
Yeah.
that is still considered
Yeah.
like appropriate attire,
Yeah.
essentially.
It basically, looking at them again, reviewing them with what other people have looked at and read into it, kind of a thing. It's guys cannot show nipples in the context of the stream. So if it's us just sitting here talking and I rip my shirt off and be like, "Rah!" then that's my bad, kind of a thing.
I'd be impressed.
Okay, well. But if it's a thing like it's a hot tub stream and I'm sitting here in just a swimsuit in
Right.
my hot tub, then okay, yeah, then I can show nipples.
Yeah, the rules that they have,
A Borat bathing suit. I think that might be even a little bit more revealing than what Twitch wants.
and I wonder, does that, okay, so again, it's in context, right? So does that mean I could do an entire stream with my shirt off if every time I stood up I was wearing just a bathing suit underneath? Like, what if like I had a kiddie pool, right? But you can still only see the top half of me, right? So it looks as if, but then I'd have to, like, move the camera down.
Pan
and
the
be like,
camera
"Nope,
down and be like, see, I'm in a pool.
I'm sitting in water." Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's so weird, like the lines that Twitch draws and how not clear they are until something comes up and then they go, "You're right, this is terrible. Welp, we're basically gonna do nothing about this. Goodbye." like it's so weird.
That, or they'll sit there and be like, this is horribly terrible and offensive to some people, but you make us lots of money.
Right.
You can do it. You who has like 2 subs, no, you're banned.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, fuck you too, Twitch.
Yeah, it's really incongruous, like the way that they treat certain streamers. But I do understand from their point, because it's like a Jeff Bezos thing, right? Like,
Yeah. Yep.
like, you make us a bunch of money. Well, you can kind of do whatever you want to do. Yeah.
Although I got to admit, that would be something that I would love to see, just from the curiosity sense of someone doing a hot tub stream in a Borat bathing suit.
That would be funny.
Seriously, because at that point it's like there is literally nothing left to the imagination there, pretty much.
Yeah.
So
and like, honestly, like, I don't care. Like, if a guy or a girl wants to do a hot tub stream, that's on them, man. Like, what do you care? Like, if you saw that at a beach, would you freak out? Like, no. Like, so whatever. Like, just, like, let them do whatever they want to do.
Yep.
Did you go last or did I go last?
We were talking about Pokemon MOBA, which was mine.
Okay. So this one, this is barely news. This just focuses on like a conversation that I'd like to have. That's why I brought this up. So today, the CD Projekt Red, the guys who made Cyberpunk 2077, announced that they are to a satisfying level. And that is a direct quote. A satisfying level with 2077.
Yep. I saw that too.
So here's my talking point, right? Like, so okay. I know that gaming, we're still in the Wild West, right? Like, like, this is not like the movie industry that's been around for hundreds of years. This isn't like art or music, so we're still kind of like trying to figure everything out. But like, at what point do we go like, you launched your game and now 6 months later you're like, nailed it? Like really?
Yep.
So it raises an interesting question to me. Like, at what point do you, I guess this goes to the ultimate thing too. At what point do you go like, okay, I might check this out again? Another one springs to mind, No Man's Skies, right? Like, I've heard a couple of people over the last like year be like, oh dude, No Man's Sky is actually really dope now. And I'm like, cool, but they kind of missed their window with me, because
that was back on 360 and yeah.
Well, it wasn't 360, it was the Xbox One.
Well,
but
still.
Like, still, yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. So for me, and I love that that was a direct quote. Uh, Satisfying level, not like we're killing it and come check out our game. We've gotten to a
This
satisfying
fine
level.
level, yeah. Um,
Cool.
and on top of that, Microsoft, I want to say it was starting next month. They are not going to be
Yeah.
doing refunds on Cyberpunk 2077 as well.
So if you want to check out Cyberpunk 2077 and you're a little bit of a skis, just like me, you can buy that shit on the Microsoft store. It doesn't matter what, if you're on the S or last gen, you could buy that shit for a month and check out what satisfying level means to them, and then return it and still get your money back for a month. So that's kind of what I read, but that's also because I'm a scuzz.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's obviously stipulations. Like, I think that you can only play it for X amount of time, and it has to be like within 2 weeks of purchase, kind of a thing. But I mean, yeah. Could
But
care less
Steam's
about
like what?
2077. Yeah, I mean, it has potential, but I don't like you said, the ship has sailed. They missed
Right.
their mark. So
And then I heard like how they kind of treated their employees, and I was like, man, you guys were supposed to be like the good guys. You
yeah,
guys totally kind of just chased the like okay, when the first pushback happened, I was like, okay, shit happens, right? I've
yeah,
gone through so many development cycles I can't even like count them all. Shit happens.
yeah.
But then the second delay happened and it was 2 more months, and I was like, okay, you're not like, this is not polish. Like, you can't get polish in 3 months. This is,
Yeah.
you guys are still fixing a bugs. Um, and that was where I started going,
Hmm.
um, but like again, the hype train. How much money do you think they spent on that marketing campaign? Like, honest
Oh,
to God,
oh dear God, way too much.
50, 50, 60 million?
Yeah,
Had to
easily,
be.
easily.
Like, had to be. Um, and it didn't matter too. Did you see the sales numbers that they made?
Hmm.
Like, they sold 9 million copies in the
Oh,
first month.
oh God, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So didn't matter
They got
the
their
other
money
way. They
back
just
easily. Yeah.
plus a gajillion.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. We really got to stop, guys. If you're here and you're hearing this, please stop pre-ordering shit and getting your fucking like
Oh yeah.
all panties in a twist before a game comes out. Wait until there's some real significant data that you can look at and be like, yes, this might be a product I am interested in purchasing. When we do this shit, where we pay for these mistakes of these multi-billion dollar companies that don't give a fuck about you, you are perpetuating the problem.
Hmm. Especially when looking into like different tiered collector editions, or you buy it from this location and you get this thing, you buy it from that location, you get that thing. uh Fallout 76 kind of looking in your direction. I mean,
Batman.
oh yeah, Batman, but I mean, like, Fallout 76, the simple fact of the canvas bag,
Oh
which,
yeah. That was also
ooh,
bad.
that was horrible bad. Plus, not to mention the simple fact of, I want to say day one, it also had a bug where it not deleted the install of your game, it formatted your hard drive.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
Well,
you really can't just sit there and be like, oh, our bad.
what about fucking or not Diablo, the War, oh my God, World of Warcraft 3 remaster, that when you downloaded it, it wouldn't allow you to play the original anymore.
Oh God.
So as soon as you bought the remaster, your old copy, if you had one, would no longer work. So they put out a broken, buggy, horrible piece of shit that was made on literally all lies, literally all lies, and then it wouldn't let you play the original anymore. Fuck right off. Like, that kind of shit is the shit that we need to stop doing. Wait until you see a couple of reviews. Pick a couple people, a couple of different, you
Yeah.
know, some dudes
Yeah,
who like
yeah.
do research. Maybe listen to them first before you just go and throw fucking $60 at shit.
Especially considering how with World of Warcraft, or not World, with Warcraft 3, that's Blizzard for one. Unfortunately, everyone is like, "Oh, Blizzard announces this, quick throw money at them." No, stop doing that.
Yep.
But two, Warcraft 3, it was originally released on the PC. The remaster was on the PC. How the can you mess that up?
Yeah, I agree.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's a nightmare. If you're interested in that story, by the way, check out What Happened. It's called, actually called What Happened. A guy named Matty McMuscles. He does a bunch of videos, basically looking at the development cycle all the way through to launch of games. And that episode in particular, he does some like side to sides where he's like, "Here's the video they showed us. Here's what we actually got. Here's what happened then. Here's what." And by the end, I was like, Jesus, this is just a cavalcade of fucking shitty decisions on their part. Like, but
not good.
again, had launch on March because the books come due in April.
Yeah, yeah.
Ugh, man, fucking AAA companies, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, all right. So that was mine that went really roundabout, but no shocker there.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of good points all in all to touch on there.
Why don't we just pat ourselves on the back? Oh, doing so
Fine.
good.
Yes, we will. We're not above patting ourselves on the back and shameless plugs. Really, we're not.
Like, follow, subscribe, smash that like button.
You may have seen this one. Xbox custom controllers. You could order a custom like your Xbox controller and customize it to be flaming pink with camo green and all sorts of stuff. You can even get them engraved.
I did for my ex-girlfriend.
Apparently recently their engraving filter for words you can put in, I'm guessing the AI for the filter got drunk and then did like 50 pounds of coke followed by another ton of alcohol followed by 10 kilograms of crack and decided, okay, I'm good to go to work now.
Why? What happened?
You couldn't type in things like trans, but you could
TRANS?
Yes, but you could put in things like kill trans women.
What?
Dead serious. It would allow that, but not the word trans.
Oh, because it was all smashed together.
No, like spaces.
Space?
Yes.
That doesn't make sense.
I can't. Yeah. Oh my God is right. It makes literally no sense. The things you could get away with in it. Now, since then, I have gone back and tried putting some of these things that they said you couldn't, that you could do, and I can't do it.
So the profanity filter essentially is fixed. Well, or whatever
Fixed.
degree. Right.
Because I mean, like, you couldn't do fallopian tube, but you could do fallopian. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, it's like, it's the same damn thing. Why the heck? Like, what they've got in there, I don't understand why they block certain things and not other things.
And like, it's interesting too, because like, yeah, there's like a fucking million trillion shitbags on this fucking muddy rock. But like, why would Xbox give a shit? Like, what are they gonna like? Because that's a robot that's like doing the thing.
Yeah.
So like, if I wanted to be like, I heart big floppy dicks, I should totally be able to say that I love big floppy dicks on my controller. Like, it's my controller. I'm giving you. And by the way,
Yeah.
as somebody who has bought one, it was $129 for a normal controller. It's a normal controller. It's still a a bog standard Xbox controller. It's not like nothing fancy about it, and it was $129.
Wow.
So for $129, I mean, like, if you want to fucking say whatever bullshit vitriol that's coming out of your mouth, I guess whatever. It's only in your living room, and it is getting carved on by a robot. But it's really weird to be so like flippant with what things like. What if you were trans and super proud?
Yeah, very
You
true.
know,
Very true.
like what the fuck? Like you couldn't like be like trans and proud. You couldn't like literally have that on your game. Like that's bullshit. You should totally be
Apparently,
able to have that.
yeah. I will say this though, seeing how you brought up the price of it, it has come down. I think when I saw it yesterday or Sunday, I forget which, it was $80,
Oh no
and
shit.
the engraving alone is a additional $10.
Okay.
So
Well, so $90.
yeah,
So $30 more to get a custom one. Actually, that's not too bad
yeah,
price wise.
yeah,
And the one that I got Natalie, the girl that I was dating at the time, she's a Ravenclaw and she's like super, into the Harry Potter thing.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and she had sent me like 6 months before Christmas because they have that thing where you can go in and like customize your whole controller. Like, and she took a screenshot of it and sent it to me, and I was like, "Oh, bitch, you just bought yourself a great Christmas present." Like, that was an actually awesome Christmas present because it was, blue and gold, and it like had her gamer tag on it. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I still get credit. We haven't dated in 3 years. She still gives me credit for that to this day. Like, that's a good
Kudos,
gift.
kudos, man,
Um,
kudos.
yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, come on. If it's something that like, your partner wants and you listen, I, I listened. A little 13th warrior for you.
Mm-hmm.
Um uh I think that's a great gift.
Yeah,
It really is. Especially now at $90. Yeah, that's a
yeah,
great gift.
yeah.
But don't, and let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, do not try to just wing it yourself. Don't just go into like one, I know my partner so well, I could just pick out their, don't do it. That is a trap. They will not like it. There's
Yeah.
gonna be something on it that they will not like. Do not do it.
Yep.
Be it the button color or the stick color or whatever it may be. Don't
Mm-hmm.
do it. Show them that program and then let them fart around with it. Then take a sly picture. Tell them they gotta go poop or something, or they gotta. Did you smell that in the other room? It smelled like fire. And then when they leave the room, snap a quick pic. Boom, gift done.
Yep.
Yeah, pro play. Now we've gone to old man tips and tricks.
Hey, it's all good. It all counts, right? Right.
Oh, okay.
Oh
So,
boy.
are we good with that one?
Unless you want to try to pull up the site and see what other words you can get in without it
No,
catching.
I really don't. I had to do that for a living, and I really fucking hate profanity
Oh, I
filters.
know, I know, I know.
Ugh.
I had an
Yeah,
assistant coming up with one.
dude, I know, right? And like that's the worst part is like then you gotta type the shit in. You're like, oh god, this makes me feel like a piece of shit. Like, but some asshole in the world is like, I gotta have it. Like you're like, oh god.
I probably still have my one character that I slid through on Age of Conan. I slid him through the profanity filter, and his name was "Fuck You."
Spelled weird.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to have Senior Cock on face in, in NBA. You gotta at least try to have some fun with it and like try to let the hate roll off your back. All right.
Yeah.
So this one was interesting, and like so far as I have seen nothing about this. I found this buried in Rock Paper Shotgun, buried, absolutely buried. Konami is making a new game that is it's called Crime Site, and it is a PvP game that is basically what they said, this is a quote, tabletop strategy game that is turn-based deduction that is PvP, placing the player in one person plays the AI version of Moriarty and one person plays the AI version of Sherlock Holmes.
Okay, it's not where I thought that was going, but
Me either, bro. Like,
wow. Okay.
it's called Crime Site. Spelled exactly the way you would think.
I'm befuddled.
Yeah. It looks kind of like Clue mixed with a 3D environment. So you're like the two of you are in a mansion, an isometric view mansion, and you have to figure out who is the murderer in this scenario, and the other person has to basically get away with murder, is what it looks like. It like instantly piqued my interest. It's hitting tabletop, it's turn-based, it's deductive reasoning. For me, I was like, what did you just make this game up out of my mind? This is amazing. I didn't even thought of this. And it's Konami, which it's nice to see them making fucking video games again.
It's coming to Steam too.
Yes, it is coming to Steam. Yeah, if you have the video, you could probably show it because it's like a minute and a half. We won't play the music or anything, but
yeah, I was gonna say I actually have the Steam page up right now.
oh, yeah, sure, do it.
So
I will watch the shit out of that with you. Super interesting though. It was like a minute and 10 seconds or something video, and the entire time I kept squinting and going, "What the fuck is going on here?" But I love the idea. I love the concept. I love tabletop gaming. I love deductive reasoning. I love PvP. This feels like something like me or you or me or Brian could have a lot of fun with.
God damn it, where the fuck am I looking?
What?
That's what I'm looking for. There we go. Okay.
There you go. So the graphics are like totally not something to write home about, but I don't give a shit about that. What I give a shit about is the AI Moriarty, so a player just snapped his fingers next to an NPC and made that guy the killer. And then the other player, this is his gameplay, goes around and has to find the murder victim and the murderer.
Interesting.
So interesting. It's the most original thing that I have seen, especially coming out of Konami, in a while. This looks really cool. All verse 2 to 4, so it's got an asynchronous thing.
It kind of gives me a Clue kind of feel.
Yes, that's kind of what the article said, is that it's kind of like
cool.
It's less shit, what's the name of that? Why is my brain going bad? Among Us. It's less Among Us than it is Clue. But yeah, that's really interesting to me.
Yeah, that does seem interesting.
Yeah, I think that could be a lot of fun. Also, that could be amazing stream bait. Like if we found 4 people that we could stream that with, that could be real damn fun to stream.
Oh god, yeah.
Just depends on how it comes out in the end. But,
yeah, true.
I don't think it even had like a month yet when it was coming out.
It said TBA.
TBA. Okay. Yeah. So just keep your eyes out if you see that. Crime Site looks real cool.
Yeah.
Just FYI, you might have just gotten on the inside track.
You done or?
Oh yeah. No.
Okay. This one you're probably gonna be less enthused about, but I kind of feel it's a little noteworthy at the very least. Borderlands 3. They recently did a update, which, okay, whoopee-doo, it increased the level cap that people could level their characters to, but it also allowed crossplay across everything except PS4 and PS5. They didn't give a reason as to why PS4 and PS5 were not included, but people are theorizing it's something to do with Sony and either Sony not wanting to play nice with Microsoft, or Microsoft not wanting to play nice with Sony. Something in that kind of vein. So it's like, okay, yeah, they still want to be kids and take their toys and go home. That's nice. Like I said, not really super. I figured you wouldn't be super enthused by it, but at the very least, it's noteworthy because I mean now PC players like myself can play with console players.
Mhm. Like I'm all for cross console
Yeah.
or cross platform. I
Yeah.
really am. It doesn't
Mhm.
even matter the game. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
because especially when it's games with smaller player bases,
Mhm.
if we made that just the fucking norm, like again to go circle back quickly to Smite, um, not the biggest MOBA, probably the third biggest MOBA, but ever since they did cross platform, it's been great.
Mhm.
Because we can play with fucking everybody. So if there's only 200,000 concurrent players, at least we're all playing together and it's not 15% plays here and then the other 85% plays here.
Right.
So one side has a better matchmaking experience, just to pull an example.
Yep.
So I'm always like, dude, cross platform, we should be doing that more.
Oh hell yeah. Hell yeah. Back to you.
Oh,
Yeah,
uh,
like I said, it was just a small thing.
yeah, that's fair. Um, my next one's also kind of a small thing, but I kind of wanted to talk about it just quick. Um, so Aliens vs Predator Fire Team, have you seen anything on that yet?
Um, I'm I'm trying to remember if I saw anything on that or was I thinking of Hunting Ground. But continue.
Well, basically, Aliens Fire Team is Aliens Fire Team. Although to be fair, if you looked at it in the right light, technically Aliens Fire Team could be grammatically correct. But anyways, but as a subtitle, it's not. So it gets the puke noise. Um, basically, what it is a PVE game. Where you fight fucking xenomorphs in the hive and some locations that are like canon, from film,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Okay.
Um, but it's only 3 player, which is a little bizarre. Um, if you're making like a PvE
Mm,
game traditionally, I guess at any rate, like you always do fucking at the very least 4, right? Like,
yeah, but I mean, and I know I'm thinking way back here. Back to the good old days of arcade cabinets. If I remember correctly, the arcade game was 3 person.
which one?
The the one where it basically was a side-scrolling beat 'em up where the humans and the predators would team up versus aliens.
That was Aliens vs Predators, and Capcom made it. And there was an edition where there was 4, but it was not 3. There was 2 player, which was much more common. I saw those all over the place, but there was one cabinet that was 4 players.
Okay.
That was Aliens vs
I thought it
Predators.
was. I
That
thought it
game was
was
good
3.
though.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely was. I can still remember plunking down a lot of quarters into that.
It was gorgeous. Like
Yeah.
it was gorgeous. Um, yeah. I feel like that's just a weird decision. I don't know why. Like it's not like it's a big deal or whatever, but like to be fair, as even an aliens guy, like I don't know. Like this just feels kind of like soulless. Like cool, another horde mode with my friends.
Yeah.
Cool with a fucking xenomorph skin over it. Um and they have like different types of xenomorphs, which again is cool because that is canon, but some of them aren't. Like there was a white one that had like a face kind of like, do you remember Half-Life 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, actually, Half-Life. Actually, also even you remember the bugs that kind of look like dogs, and they had like a shit ton of eyes in the front, and they go man, and they had that big AOE effect.
Yeah.
They like one of them, like the last part of that trailer. There was a white xenomorph that kind of looked like that dog Jim Jam, but had like a spiky tail and was like pinning one of the players and like trying to like stab him with the thing. And I was like, okay, dude, I read the comics of Aliens, and I was like, never been shown. Uh,
Hmm.
so I don't know. It just
Yeah. That.
little
It's
touchback.
things like that where it's like, okay, yes, there's the whole like creative liberty thing, but at the same point in time, it's like if you're gonna go that far with creative liberty, you might want to go ask permission first, kind of a thing.
Right. Or like do stuff that's been in the canon. Shit. I read fucking Alien versus Batman where the one of the eggs opens up and gestates in a crocodile, and so it ends up becoming this
Oh
huge
God.
like crocodile looking thing. Yeah, and it was actually pretty dope, but also kind of ridiculous. But hey, whatever.
Yeah.
It was also Batman fighting aliens, so
Yeah.
let's go. Um, I just wish they had done that as opposed to like just whatever. Like who cares? It just feels like the rest of the Alien franchise at this point, where like the creators don't give a fuck anymore. They're just like whatever, dude. Slap some fucking slimy bitches up there. They have acid for blood. People will come. It's fine, and people do, which is the problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but at least it looks nice. The graphics are nice. And again, for the love of, let's not believe just non-gameplay trailers, people.
Yeah.
Not a gameplay trailer.
Yep.
But I guess whatever. Like one of the things was like customize your Marines. And as it was going past, there was like a box in the way, so it showed like 3 Marines, and the box came past, and then it showed 3 more, but that was it. It was only showing customization between 2 cuts. So I was like, that also
That's
doesn't
not really customization. That's
right.
hey,
That doesn't maybe bode well.
we've got preset of 3 and preset of 3.
Right, and we have 6 other pairs of trousers that you can wear, and
Yeah.
that's it. Like
In
customization
2 colors.
yeah,
Camo green and camo tan.
yeah, digital camo and regular camo.
Ooh,
Ugh.
even different patterns too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Put that on the back of the box.
Yeah.
Marketing asshole move number 1.
Yeah.
All right, so that was the end of mine.
Okay, I've got 2 more at the very least. I've actually got 5, but whether we get to them or not, that's a whole nother story. Wow, neither one of these are really great, like, pick me up kind of stories, unfortunately. Ubisoft. Unfortunately, they kind of caught the eye of the fan base and decided, hey, we're gonna play the devil. Because Far Cry 5 has a level editor in it, apparently. And they decided, apparently due to supposed copyright infringement legal action, some fans were making GoldenEye, literally the N64 game remade in Far Cry 5, every single level. Apparently there was some sort of copyright infringement or whatever.
Sure. Of course.
And they deleted every single, like, they had to have programmed something to go out there and delete it all. Yes. Because you can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, but Far Cry 5 isn't even out yet.
Far Cry 5? Yes.
Yeah.
Far Cry 6, no.
Oh, 5. 5.
Yes.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry. That's on me.
The thing that really sucks though with this, and this brings up a lot of potential controversy, because Ubisoft gave the fan base the tools. Some fans spent 1,700 hours. Yes, 1,700 hours to skillfully recreate all the levels from the N64 title GoldenEye. And yes, it's in Far Cry 5. They didn't have the license to do such a thing and things like that. But okay, where do we draw that line? What if I now go into Minecraft and recreate in the best tools that I can of Minecraft GoldenEye? Where do we draw that line?
Interesting. That's an interesting topic.
I mean, regardless of the fact that Ubisoft played the devil and deleted the custom map pack that the guy made, it's the bigger issue of, okay, game company comes out with tools to make custom maps. Players take tools and make custom maps that are faithfully recreations of other games.
I think there's an inherent problem here, because obviously the player's not in the wrong, like, because players always want to do that, right? Like, you
Yeah.
can run fucking Doom on a fucking TI 800 graphing calculator.
Yep.
Like, somebody made that.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like the line, I guess, is if they were trying to make money off of it, which clearly they weren't in this case,
Yeah,
right?
they weren't.
Like, so I feel like that's the line. It's not like they were trying to make any dollars off of this. It was just a labor of love kind of thing. I mean, I feel like because of that, it should fall under like fair use. Now, here's the other problem. Um, Laws in every country are completely different,
Hmm.
like wildly different, especially things like fair use and copyright
Copyright.
claims.
Yeah.
Yep. I feel like that's another big problem. Like, YouTube has had problems
Ugh.
with this for years, and
Yeah.
Newgrounds has had problems with this. Um, where is that line between parody and original work like distinct? You know,
Hmm.
but if you're not trying to monetize it in any way, I feel like that's fine. Like, but again, that's me, not a multi-million-dollar company that
True.
gives a shit about every fucking nickel.
Hmm.
I'm an independent developer. I'm an independent designer.
Yep.
So for me, it's like, it's not like these guys were going out and trying to be malicious or make money off it. So that to me, I guess would be the line.
Yeah. And to be fair, the I don't know if it's company, studio, whatever firm, I'll just put it that way, that owns the license to GoldenEye. They've sat on it for how many years now?
It's Rareware who owns it.
Yeah, well, still. No, well, technically
It's
no. It's
Yeah, well,
the
it's
move.
actually. Do you want to know the actual answer? Because I do actually know the real answer. The
Okay.
actual real answer is the family of the guy who wrote the James Bond's novels.
Yeah.
That is why traditionally James Bond in particular has had a very, let's just call it, rocky um place in video gaming, because
Yeah.
that family owns the rights to Bond. Period. End of statement. They don't know fuck all about video games, and that's why some video games with the James Bond official license are made from Ubisoft. There's some from EA. There's some from Wareware. There's
Hmm.
some from I can't remember what the name of that fucking studio is. There's another one that's small that did ones for the Game Boy Advance. Um, so that's the real answer. Because if by whatever means Ubisoft goes, those guys have attacked people in the past, and they have, for the James Bond license, and this is being created in our title, I can see where they might like kind of pull the plug faster than they would originally. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're just basically like, we just made a free thing, but then they could be like, well, your free thing made him make a free thing that now you guys all owe us money.
Hmm.
Um, you know,
Yeah.
tough.
The article here is citing MGM as
MGM
the one that
Studios.
that slapped Ubisoft with the copyright infringement
Yeah,
claims.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and the other thing is they've been sitting on the IP for, I thought it said how long they were. I want to say it was like
I mean, it makes sense to me
yeah,
because it still makes money. It still makes money. Like Sony was doing that, is still kind of doing that with
yeah,
Spider-Man,
yep.
like why give up a cash cow if you don't have to?
Mhm.
Wow, the chiptunes that I'm running is doing a chiptunes version of the Angry Video Game Nerd opening theme song. That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nintendo is also one to very quickly
yeah,
stab player made recreations or whatever of their IPs and kill them as fast as they really as fast as anybody gets word about them. Because I
yeah,
remember hearing reading an article about someone recreated with to the standard of like I guess it would be like Metroid Fusion kind of graphics.
Sure.
They recreated Metroid 2. That OG
Returns?
no OG Game Boy. The
Yeah,
Dot
returns.
Matrix, yeah, Return of Samus, that one.
Yeah.
They remade that in like Metroid Fusion graphics, and I can still recall the article I saw on Kotaku. Nintendo killed that so fast,
Sure.
and all of Nintendo player base, regardless of if they were diehard Metroid fans or just whatever, I remember that everybody was just up in arms about it, and it's like they weren't making money, they were just updating it so the current generation of people can play it, or people who weren't able to play it at the time can now actually play it.
Mhm.
Because what are the odds of Nintendo actually updating it and releasing it on a virtual store?
Right.
Zero. I guarantee you, zero.
But that like I don't feel like that's as egregious as the Pokemon Uranium scandal that happened 2016. That was a
Okay.
completely and totally fan-made game that
Mm,
was set in the Pokemon universe, but it
yeah.
was free. It was free. It's not like they sold it. But Nintendo hit them with the DMC, and basically at this point, you cannot get that game anymore. It like
Yeah.
literally does not exist unless you direct file transfer from somebody who actually has it still. Um, that's an entire game that's gone.
Yep.
Like and from what I've heard, Uranium was supposed to be awesome. Like I had a couple of friends when I was working at EA who had downloaded it and they were like, "Dude, that game's actually really good." Um, but I mean, would you want like let's say you painted a painting, and then I came along and painted a painting of your painting, and it was slightly better? Wouldn't you would be like, "Hey, fuck you, buddy! Get your better version of my painting out of here!" Like you know.
True, true. But I mean,
Um,
yeah.
but it is a little egregious
Yeah, I
to
mean,
say the least.
I can definitely sit here and see both sides of the argument, having obviously being a gamer and then also having worked in the video game industry. I can definitely see both sides of the argument
Sure,
as far as why to kill it and why not to kill it.
sure.
So it really just kind of
Sucks.
boils down. Yeah, well, definitely it sucks, but it also kind of boils down to which company the IP belongs to, and well, numerous things. Which IP the company belongs to? Are they doing anything with the IP, or are they literally sitting on it like it's an egg and hoping it hatches another golden egg or whatever? Um, or even what I wish Nintendo would have done with this one, as far as the Metroid 2 thing, reach out to the guy and be like, "Hey, you give
This was
us
great.
this was great. We'll offer you a contractual job to actually, under our license, do this, and you have the job for working on this project, and then we cut ties," kind of a thing.
It's true. But you know, for all they know, he snuck in some room that's like got
True,
swastikas or some
true,
bullshit. Like, you
very
know,
true.
look at the fucking Mario movie. Like, you know, they
Oh,
finally were like, "All right, we trust you. Go ahead." And then they come out with that fucking steaming pile of poo. Like, you know,
Steaming pile of poo would be an upgrade from what it was.
I do not disagree.
uh,
Yeah. All right, last one. Yeah, last one.
okay. I hate that this is the last one then, because this is definitely a sad note. The apparently the basically the author and person who is leading the way in SNES emulators.
Yeah, I saw this.
Yeah, the guy who wrote the brilliant SNES emulator, the author known as Nier, has unfortunately passed away.
Yeah.
And what makes it even worse is it was by his own hand.
Yeah. Mental health, kids,
Yeah,
go see a therapist, please, for the love of.
seriously, please
I
do.
do. Worth it.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it does suck, especially because seriously, the guy was so well. We don't know guy or girl. Technically,
person.
that's
Yeah,
right. The person
person.
who had worked,
Uh,
and not only that, that was not the only emulation engine that they had done.
True,
They had
very
actually
true.
worked on three total,
Hmm.
and all of them were almost near perfect emulators.
Yep.
It sucks to lose somebody like that, but like again, this does put like you know it's fucked up. So I saw this was also on I think it was on Polygon and Kotaku, but neither one of them framed it in the way that really we kind of should. It's like mental health is important, people should have been really the framing for this.
Oh god, yeah. Especially considering like on Kotaku here, I'm looking through the article again, and literally the very last sentence is about national suicide prevention and
Right.
with their number, and it's like, let's just take that and move it all the way up to the very first sentence. There,
Yeah.
now that's better.
Yeah, now we can frame this conversation.
Yeah.
Because this was a very talented person
Mhm.
who was very, very well respected in their field
Oh yeah.
and clearly had some fucking personal issues that like became too much. And dude, that should be the way you frame this. Like
Yep.
that not it's not just it's everybody, right?
Mhm.
Like mental health, every single person has to live inside their own head and be you amazing and a creative auteur or somebody who emulates stuff that like came from old school people who will never even recognize what you did. And he worked hard or she worked they worked hard to get this into the hands of more people. That is so commendable too. And like that art of preservation is very important in today's day and age of I'm done with this water bottle now, just chuck it out. Like, you know,
Yep.
I wish that had been framed completely differently. And that is a serious bummer.
Yeah. Especially considering the simple fact of, you look at uh, Mona Lisa or Last Dinner, things like that. Paintings that have gone through years and years and years of restoration and preservation. Emulators are effectively the gamer's world equivalent of
Yeah.
restoration and preservation. It's, yes, in some people's hands, they're the doorway to piracy and like that.
They're
Everybody's gonna
worth.
anyone everyone's gonna uh at some point in time like download music or whatever that they didn't pay for. I mean, hell, I'll admit I'm guilty of that. I've gotten games that I've emulated and things like that. Whatever, that's besides the point. The point is, this is effectively preserving the video
Yes.
game history, and so that future generations of gamers can be like, oh hey, this is an awesome game of current generation stuff, and but dad tells me of this game which was back in his day. What is this? And like does some googling and finds the emulator and finds the game, then can check it out and be like, oh wow, this is what, like the precursor kind of thing of that. Oh wow, I can see all the mechanics and what led up to current gen stuff.
I
So
mean, shit. There's just the fact of the matter is, way back in the day, um, it- dude, physical copies of things are also ridiculously expensive. Try to
mhm.
buy a physical copy of Earthbound.
Oh,
It's like $300 to $400 at this
oh,
point. A
easily,
physical copy.
easily.
So not only is emulation obviously holding stuff for us because seriously, everything degrades. Plastic, silicone, metal, everything degrades. We need to have this shit on the internet in banks that we are keeping these pieces of art alive. And if it's not even for that, it's for the fact that seriously, some people can't afford $500 to fucking play Cursed Flintstones Peak. Dude, you can bust out an emulator, you can still play that. So it's keeping because unlike most other mediums, if the Mona Lisa did burn up, there's millions of pictures of it, right? There's millions.
Yep.
There's millions and millions. This is an interactive medium.
Yep.
This is something unlike film, unlike art, unlike music. You actually have to interact with it to see its beauty and what each individual entry has to offer. And if you can't do that, then great, we have some fucking pictures of the box art. Who gives a fuck? Like,
Yeah.
we as a community have to at some point align on that we need modding and we need emulators. Like, we need that. It keeps communities alive with modding, and it keeps games still in the public availability for emulators.
Yep, very much so.
That's a good thing. So I mean, I guess we got to have this conversation so we could go, you know, hey, at least there's that. Like, we did bring some positivity to it.
Yep.
Even though this is an awful fucking subject, but
yeah, because the article does go on and state that how they were Nier was effectively a victim of lifelong bullying. They identified as non-binary, so it's unfortunately very easy for them to get bullied in most communities, and whether it be gay, straight, it honestly is very easy to get bullied. So it is sad, but yeah, we definitely need to preserve it. Yeah, exactly.
At least their work will go on. That's the biggest thing. And you know what? Maybe they inspired another person to come out and to be open with our community and maybe go into that field, like doing emulation, you know, like there is so much positive that you can take away, but you just got to make sure like you look at it from all the angles, you know, because seriously, like, look, we're two random people talking right now about their life in a positive, like, you know, view. You know? So like that in of itself is good. I think that's a good thing.
Especially considering the simple fact of you and I, aside from what was written in the article, we know nothing of this person.
I actually did a bunch of Googling earlier today. Just to,
okay. Well,
that's why I was
aside from
why I was doing the they thing most of the time.
Yeah, aside from Google searches, we know very little of this person.
Right.
And yet everything that we're saying is exceptionally positive about them.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And I think that's a good takeaway.
Yeah.
And seriously, mental health, dude, like, please.
Yes.
Therapy, talk to people. Like, you just got
There's a free 800 number. There's a free. I mean, yes, a lot of people will sit there and be like, oh, I can't afford a therapist. Free 800 number. Their whole job when you call that number is to listen, to talk to you, to help you. Please.
And honestly, we've all been there and know that that's the case.
Yes.
Like, so please know that.
Well, I mean, hell, I've been there.
I've been there a bunch of times. Check out my arms. They're really terrible. But you know, hey.
I was gonna say I've been there to the point where and I will say this, truth be told, on air, don't care who hears it. One other person knows of this, which is my husband. I've been to the point of actually having the knife to my throat. Yeah.
Bad way to do it too, FYI.
Yeah, I know.
That's a bad way to do it.
Yeah.
Not to make this now turn the other side of that.
But I mean,
I know. No, trust me. Trust me.
I know.
Completely know.
I know.
Like, you know me too.
Yeah.
We are piles of not great, all just kind of built into the shape of men.
Yeah. That should be the qualification of not great. We're men.
Yeah. But hey, man, fucking struggle is fucking real, and
Yeah.
we work through and shit. I still work through it all the time, like
Mhm.
legitimately, like
Yeah.
so. Don't ever think that you like. Don't think that none of you are alone.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Oh
none
god,
of
yeah.
you are ever alone.
Everybody,
That's
everybody that you know is willing to
every
listen
person
to
you've
you.
ever seen has fucking had thoughts of literally fucking not great shit.
Mhm.
Like just putting it out there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just know that you have people around you, and that, seriously, everyone has been at like super not great places.
Yeah.
Um, but um, you do have people.
Mhm.
Mm.
Um, it's a
Do
little.
you want to do? Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's a little before where we usually end.
That is true. We got 10 minutes.
Yep. I was gonna say I do have one just off the cuff thing as a kind of reminder, which is definitely a
Okay.
positive thing.
Okay.
Um, Obviously July 4th is Sunday.
Yeah.
But
Fireworks.
yep, that actually wasn't the point though. Uh,
Booze. Sorry, I'm
well,
just gonna
yeah,
keep doing that. Friendship.
yeah.
Everything else.
um, no,
My favorite holiday.
the actual point though is GDQ.
Mm-hmm.
Their week long marathon event starts on July 4th, actually,
Oh no shit.
and they are raising money for Doctors Without Borders.
Yes, summer event.
Yep. So
Yep.
whether you have a interest in speedrunning or just like watching speedrunning or just like watching people play games,
Video games.
check it out. Doctors Without Borders, absolutely phenomenal charity. They
Yeah.
basically they go into war zones and do medical stuff. I know, super technical there.
Yeah, that was very technical.
Yeah.
I don't. That might have gone over some of the audience members' heads. Medical
Stuff.
stuff. Yeah, to be
Pro
fair,
streamer.
like I know, seriously, I know we're making a little light of it, but seriously, Doctors Without Borders is fucking amazing.
Yes.
Like seriously, like,
Yeah.
and it's not just war-torn areas; it's also impoverished areas, and basically, it's just doctors who have official doctorate licenses, and they just show up and they give away their service for free
Yep.
to people who need it.
Mhm.
And this entire week, any donations you give go 100% to Doctors Without Borders. That's an amazing. I think last year they ended up making less than they did the year before last because of the pandemic. But I still want to say they still made like 8 to 9 mil. Like it might have even been more than that. But they always make a ridiculous amount of money, and it's always fun to watch some speed runs. Some of these games you've probably never fucking heard of.
Oh yeah.
Just go check it out. It's fun.
Plus,
It's really fun.
plus also the simple fact of some of these games you've definitely heard of, but they may be doing things in ways you would think would be either impossible or even just doing things that you didn't even know were in the game.
Yeah.
Because honestly, up until the first time I watched GDQ, and they did a Super Metroid race,
Yeah.
they were talking about save or kill the animals. And I was like, huh? On the escape out as the planet's blowing up, there's a chamber you can get into that has helpless little animals there. And it's like, what the hell? I didn't even know this was there. So
Always kill the animals because once the one time. So this is the interesting thing. Actually, this brings up an interesting point. So a lot of times there's donation bid wars.
yes.
So if you donate and you would like to save the animals in Metroid, or you would like to kill the animals in Metroid, hey hubby, uh, uh, you can donate, and the maximum amount of donations wins, and that's what the speedrunner chooses to do. However, this also blew up. I think it was 2013 or 2012. In the dude's face on stream. If they had chosen to kill the animals, he actually would have beaten the world record. But because the donations came in to save the animals, he ended up losing
the world record.
So I fall very heavily into the kill those fucking animals. Like, and I'm
Save the
vegetarian,
frames.
FYI.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Save the frames, kill the animals. Sorry.
Yep.
And I'm vegetarian. Seriously.
Yeah.
Those things are ones and zeros, people. Relax.
By the way, looking at their totals, which you can just actually find on the Wikipedia of them, 2020 for the winter event actually raised the most dollars ever at 3.1 million.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, the 2019 June event raised 3.039 million. That's so awesome. Yeah, I mean they have done awesome things. So.
And each GDQ goes to different like what do you call it?
Charities.
Charities. Thank you. I think winter is Jude's Hospital. I want to say
Prevent Cancer Foundation.
Cancer. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Which again, throw fucking money at these people for the love of God. Cancer sucks.
Yeah.
And Doctors Without Borders, like if you have a problem with Doctors Without Borders, you and I cannot be friends. Like that is just like the end all be all of that situation. Actually, both, to be honest.
Yeah. Especially considering how during their charity events that they do, as far as these marathons, one, you can obviously donate to these charities, but two, people have taken their time, their energy, not just to learn how to play the game quickly or in a weird, quirky manner or whatnot, but people have also taken their time, their energy, their craft of whatever it is, be it sewing, be it perlers, whatever, and donated them as prizes. Yep. So you can check out the prize list on their website and figure out, oh, hey, this sounds really cool, or it looks really cool. I want to try and win this. If you can look up when that prize, as far as entries, are going to be available and how much minimum dollar you have to donate to that, and boom, there you go, you're in the drawing for it.
Or shit, you can make those perlers if you're into crafting.
That's true too.
You can donate your own time and artistic skills. Like like that's totally an option too. Also, let's also not discount all the commentators, the video production team. Like all of these people are working ostensibly pro bono just for these good causes. So don't just skip GDQ because you're not into it yet. It's fun. It's watching a group of 2 to 4 people sit on a couch and watch somebody do something they've seen them do a million times before, and they do it live on stream, and it's usually pretty fun. Like you get a good couch, man.
Oh yeah.
Like a 6-hour run can go by like that. Like it's super great to have on the background. Like it's just good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Nice job turning that around, by the way, Rich.
I figured we needed to end on a high note, so
that was very good. That we were going this way, you were like that was very good.
Yep. Especially after the two stories that kind of were like crash. It's like you really pull that up.
That was very good. Very good. All right, well, with that, I'm gonna say goodbye to them, and then we'll say goodbye to each other and all that stuff.
Sounds like a plan, man.
Excellent.
So with that having been said, guys, I do thank you all for being here. Again, as always, we do the Smarter Than AI streamcast, podcast, whatever you want to call it, talk show. We do this every Tuesday night from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern. I also have been saving these and putting them in my in the video on demand, on the VODs, in the Smarter Than AI collection. So if you want to go back and see one that you may have missed, you're more than welcome to. It's just in the Smarter Than AI collection. Just find out whatever one you missed and go back and watch it. Other than that, I will be back tomorrow. We'll be theoretically be doing some raiding in Destiny 2 and seeing how things go there. I lurked on and off, but was dozing the fuck off. But listen, hey, no problem, Blue, no problem. Welcome. Glad you were able to make it at least. Also, by the way, if you guys haven't already, go give Alex a follow. He's about this close from being affiliate, so go give him a follow. Let's get him up to 50. The easiest way to do it is to go find his channel, at least, is to, assuming I can type, there we go. Go to that multi-Twitch link, you can follow him on there, and that will be awesome. Other than that, that is it for me tonight, guys. As always, if you've liked the stream, please feel free, hit that follow button. You can also follow on Twitter and join the Discord. And yeah, that is basically it for me tonight. I will see you tomorrow, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Bye.